To Whitfield County, thunder on the streets. Let's see, Marcus has taken a left and a right. Now he's on Old Chatsworth Highway. And he was telling us earlier that the main highways there in Dalton have pretty much been clear. It's when you start turning into neighborhoods and side roads when you start seeing more ice and even some black ice here and there. And that's the situation not just in Dalton, but pretty much everywhere in our viewing area. Well, Clay, I noticed this morning as I was driving my little 4.5 mile commute to work today, I was the only vehicle that I saw on that entire 4.5 miles, which both gave me comfort, but it also made me question my career choice a little bit.
Yeah, and also shout out to Riley Nagel. He actually picked me up, so we live very close to each other. Thank you very much, Riley. And like us, when we were driving in, we didn't really see anybody either. So that is good news. Temperatures fortunately did warm a little bit overnight, and we'll talk about that in a second. But first, let's get to some of these snow photos, because I tell you what, some of you guys are really creative. This was Cooper Bomar. Made a little snowman. He's got, looks like apples, I'm assuming, for the buttons and a banana mouth. And those may be 2 limes right there for the eyeballs. Of course, you got the hat and the scarf, so that's pretty classy if you ask me. And as we take a look at some of these other photos, this was Brittany Bertram. It looks like her boys were having a good time. Not even sure what that is, but I just know it looks fun. And here's a look at one of our junior forecasters that came in last year. This is Olin Tankersley and his sister Chesney. Looks like that is some sort of barrel that's cut in half. Looks like a lot of fun as well. So a lot of people enjoying the snow, but now as we're heading out this morning, if you have any plans, if you have anything you need to get done on this Saturday, there's still going to be some slick spots. Now, fortunately, some of the valley have actually moved above that 32-degree threshold. So roads a little bit better in the southern part of Hamilton County. Temperatures could drop back below freezing. Here in North Chattanooga, it's right at 32, 30 in Blue Ridge, 30 in Athens, and 27 degrees in Altamont. So you got to consider a lot of these areas, like the secondary, tertiary roads, are going to be slick. And some of the bridges and overpasses could have some issues as well, because road temperatures generally still in the 20s. So like we mentioned earlier, if you are heading out this morning, take it slow. Now, fortunately for us, this winter storm is behind us. Cold front moving through, so that could drop temperatures back below freezing area wide here in the next hour or so before we warm into the afternoon. Most of this winter weather is now out of here, so we're not going to be tracking any additional snowfall, with the exception of just a few flurries out there in the mountain and maybe along the plateau. You can see some of that showing up earlier, but really not going to be impactful, and we're not looking at any additional accumulation. Here's a look at some of those amounts coming in from our viewers. 10 Mile picking up nearly 6 inches. Flintstone, Georgia, 4.5. We had over 4 inches in Red Bank, Sell Creek, and Etowah. Down in Eton also got 4 inches. Chattanooga Airport officially 3.3. In Ider, Alabama, 3 inches. Jasper also picked up 4.5. So again, some of you picked up a little bit more, some a little bit less, but all in all, it looks like 2 to 5 to even 6 inches was a pretty good bet for our entire coverage area. So snow done for now, but we could have more chances throughout the rest of the winter. It looks like we're going to keep a pretty cold pattern here. Here's a look at your hour by hour. Temperatures only going to climb into the mid-30s, so we will have some degree of melting today, but we're going to quickly drop back below freezing by about 8 p.m. And then overnight, those lows are going to drop probably into the teens area wide. So anything melts today is going to refreeze, and that's where we're really going to have a black ice concern by Sunday morning, as those road temperatures drop back below 32 degrees. Hard to see, so if you have to go anywhere early on Sunday, going to church a little bit later in the morning, just keep in mind we're going to have those temperatures dropping very quickly, and we could have some black ice. Here's a look at Futurecast for the rest of the day. A little bit of flurries mainly along the Tennessee-North Carolina line and along the Cumberland Plateau, but here in the valley it's just going to be a cloudy day. Cold, highs in the 30s, wind chills likely staying below freezing. Looks like the clouds are going to break as we get into the afternoon, so we should see some sunshine. That'll help that melting even more. And then as the temperatures drop tonight, we could have a little bit of freezing fog develop as well, which could lead to some additional slick spots as we get into a Sunday morning. So still need to be on guard as you're heading out the door on Sunday, but things really should start to improve next week. Daytime highs back into the 40s and overnight lows still below freezing. We'll be right back after this break.